The story was called Silly Goose and Wily Fox. It told how Silly Goose got into a conversation with Willy Fox, and before Silly knew quite what was happening, she found herself in Willy's lair. This is how the story ended. Then there was a snip and a snap, and all that was left of Silly Goose was a few floating feathers and a smile on the face of Wily Fox. Sister had a hard time falling asleep that night. Her mind was filled with those headlines. There was even one that said, "Silly Goose. Silly Goose missing, Wily Fox questioned." Stranger bothers cub, missing cub found. Silly Goose missing, Wily Fox questioned, Chief Grizzly questioned stranger. The sound of Brother Bear's peaceful breathing finally lulled her to sleep. The next day dawned bright and friendly to everybody but Sister. She had spent a restless night, and when she looked out the window, everything seemed a little strange. The trees seemed to reach for her, an owl stared at her, and the crows glared. "Let's go out and ride our bikes on the village green," said Brother after breakfast. But Sister didn't want to. Brother was puzzled. The green was a bright, busy, friendly place where she loved to play. Well, how about some soccer? But she didn't want to do that either. It wasn't until he suggested frisbee, her favorite game, that she agreed to go along. Before they left, they told Mama where they'd be. It was a family rule that they never went anywhere without telling Mama or Papa. "That's fine," said Mama. "I'm on my way to Farmer Ben's for apples. I'll stop by for you on the way home." The village green was the same bustling place it had always been. This is what it looked like to everyone but Sister. This is what it looked like to her. Today even the frogs and butterflies seemed mean and scary to her. Later, when somebody tapped her on the shoulder, she jumped a mile, even though it was just Mama. "How was everything at the village green?" asked Mama on the way home in the car. Sister sat in the front with Mama, and Brother rode in the back with a barrel of apples. "All right, I guess," said Sister, "but there were so many strangers." Later at home, when Mama and Sister were getting ready to make applesauce, Mama said, "You know what Papa told you was quite right. It's not a good idea to talk to strangers or accept presents or rides from them. But," she continued, "that doesn't mean that all strangers are bad. Why, chances are there wasn't a single person on that green that would harm a fly, much less a fine little cub like you. The trouble is, well, it's like this barrel of apples. There's an old saying that goes, 'There'll always be a couple of bad apples in every barrel.' That's the way it is with strangers. Cubs have to be careful because of the few bad apples." "Look," said Sister, "I found one. It's all bumpy and has a funny shape."